Hello and welcome to more highlights from Surrey Championship Division Two, and it's a local derby as Walton-on-Thames, with a number of Old Hamptonians in their ranks, took on the OH, third versus second in the Surrey Championship. Now, Yusuf Hafiz, back after a few weeks away, taking the attack to OH early on, hitting this lovely 4-3 backward point. Now, Raza Mughal had been dangerous in the first game. He was proving dangerous here again today, following up his forfeit last weekend with Yusuf's wicket here as Walton fall to 18 for 1. It did, though, bring the dangerous Ned Hole to the crease, the Australian overseas player, and he got away pretty early on with a lovely 4 through square leg. Growing up in Australia, you probably don't want to bowl too short to him. There we go again. Very adept on the short ball is Ned. Now class is permanent, as Paul shows here. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of runs for the first team over the years. She's come back into first team cricket this year, having been in the twos for a few years, but really showing his class on a day like today. Moves to 18 through an edge through the slips. Then that was the 50 up for Walton. Ned hitting 4 through the offside. OH did fight back though after a fairly promising start by Walton. This is a very good catch by Deno Manuel, joined from Isha this season. Very good wicket-keeper batsman. But it did bring the captain Dan Roberts to the crease. Ever the shot maker, he got away early on with 4 off his second ball through the covers. The wicket of Bainbridge didn't slow Ned down either, taking the attack to the spin, going for 4 through mid-wicket as well. And there's another one, loves to use his feet against spin, does Ned? Ashley Park, normally a spinner's paradise, but Ned seems to have worked out how to play it. And here's another boundary. This one off the back foot. Roberts was batting sensibly at the other end, and he brought up Walton's 100 with a nice knock for 1 down the ground. But he was soon to go, only a few runs later. Caught and bowled for only the first time that weekend. Pretty simple catch there for Morris. He fell for 16. Frustration very, very visible there from Roberts. But Ned went to 50 thanks to some overthrows from OH. A hard-earned half-century, backing up 100 a few weeks ago. But it did bring the young Ollie Pascal to the crease. Fresh from 12th man duties with Surrey, goes for 4 through the covers early in his innings too. And this is where the game started to settle down. A very strong partnership began to build between Ned and Ollie. A lovely 4 down the ground there from Ned. Really starting to take the attack to OH through the middle overs. There's 4 more. Nice bit of flair on show from Ollie early on. And he followed that up with 4 more just a couple of balls later here. There's the sweep again. He loves playing a sweep shot. Mid-on doesn't look too happy with that bowling. And that brought up the 150 for Walton off 41 overs. Fairly slow to start off with, but Ned and Ollie, you can see, are really starting to go through the gears here as Ned moved to 80 to bring up the 50 partnership. Lovely shot there. Into the field next to Ashley Park. And it brought 6 more for Ned soon after, as Ollie practices his swing at the non-striker's end. There's 4. Slightly fortuitous. But Ned was to go soon after as the dangerous Mughal, came back into the attack. Coming round the wicket, trapping Ned, LBW. Doesn't look too happy with that decision. But he'll have to go. A very well-made 94 though. Second time out in the 90s for Walton this season. Pascal was able to continue the work though, with another Old Hamptonian joining him in James Maddock-Jones. 2 wicket-keeper batsmen here. Going nicely. And running hard too, as Walton looked to pick up quick runs for a declaration. There's 4 more for Pascal, really going through his gears now. And Maddock-Jones, who's thrived in the middle order this season, putting that one away for 4. And minutes later, the 50 partnership came up with a lovely shot over the offside from Ollie. And that brought up the declaration, Walton declaring on 232 for 4, giving them 48 overs back at OH. Lovely 94 from Ned set up the innings, 48 not out from Ollie Pascal, and 29 not out from Maddock-Jones, ably supporting him. And wickets shared amongst the OH bowlers, 2 for Mughal, 1 for Morris, 1 for Brown, at fairly similar economy rates throughout. 232 was always a stiff target, but with 2 dangerous batsmen in Walker and Godfrey, it would need some defending. And Walker there showing slight luck getting through the slips, but that is pure class. 4 runs against his old nemesis Matt Nicholls. And I think Nicholls will be very proud of this wicket, having gone to school together. Yeah, nicked off. Wicket made at Hampton School. Bowled and caught by Old Hamptonians. But it did mean that the dangerous pair of Godfrey and Park were now together. 2 very good batsmen in this league. And OH was somewhat motoring, moving to 50 inside 10 overs. A lovely shot there by Park. Now, as the spin came on, Park really started to attack. There's 4 off the young Jake Bainbridge. That just cut out. And here's 6 more. We see the runs continuing to flow here, this time off the seam of Simon Duke. 4 runs through backward point. No point even running for that towards the short boundary. And just as Walton had in the first innings, Godfrey deploying the sweep to some effect. 4 through deep backward square now. And there's the reverse paddle to bring up the 50 partnership. Now Bainbridge is at both ends here, as dad Mark looked to support his son Jake. But Park was going over the top with 4. And only a couple of balls later, it was 6 more. Godfrey, not leaving it just to Park, got in on the act himself, 6 over mid-wicket, as the 100 came up for OH, and they looked in a very strong position to chase down this 230. Park now moving to 43. A bit of a hack across the line against Bainbridge for 4. But the old sage has been attacked many, many times before. Knew exactly what to do. Missing the reverse sweep, Park, claiming there was some glove on it maybe. The umpire disagreed and he had to go LBW. And they do say one brings two, and it was the case here. Jake getting in on the act now with a sweep. Godfrey looking very frustrated to have missed out on that one. Picking up the big wicket as he has done so many times this season, Jake. Very, very promising prospect. But Daniel Manuel came to the crease and tried to continue the shot-making exploits of Park and Godfrey. But as we can see here, the run rate just slowing slightly as the two Bainbridges managed to gain a strong hold on proceedings. And Mark Bainbridge again, picking up another wicket, very well taken by Maddock Jones. That brought Adam Lee to the crease, another dangerous middle order batsman. As we see Butt looking to get going with the lovely 4 through the offside. And again, just one ball later, this time through mid-wicket, and lovely clip for 4. Adam Lee, never liking to be tied down, hit a 4 there, just cut out on the stream though, unfortunately. This one, Paul Bainbridge, Mark's brother, coming into the attack. And Adam Lee, able to go over the top. And able to go over the top again there. But he played one shot too many, did Lee. Tried to send Bainbridge over mid-on, but a very simple catch for Tricky Wilson, who doesn't drop them. Now it was looking like Butt was the key wicket here as Morris came to the crease. He was trying to hold the innings together just as the spinners looked to cause some turmoil. That's a beautiful shot from Morris through the covers for 4. And again, never looking to be tied down, OH. 4 more for Morris. Here comes captain Dan Roberts into the attack. His spin has been very useful at times this season, not least in the Cup last weekend. But Butt, who as we mentioned was looking dangerous, fell to Paul Bainbridge. He does not drop them. And it looked like Walton were really on top here at 154 for 6 as Mughal came in. But he doesn't die wondering, as Bank of England found out last week in a very tight run chase. 4 over the top first ball. And then he followed that up next ball with a lovely 6 over cow corner. Very agricultural, but it does the job. But third ball, well, third time lucky for Walton, not so for Mughal. Tried to pull a short ball from Roberts and caught by Simon Duke in the deep. A lot of excitement in the Walton ranks about that wicket. As we just see Walton having a little rest here, and Matt Nichols having a chat with some former schoolmates. Now fielding can always separate the good from the great in this league. And here's some great work by Yusuf Hafiz, a little mix-up given out by the square leg umpire, much to the consternation of Jamie Morley. And Roberts at the other end turning into a prime Murali with this lovely off-break to the left-hander, taking out off stump. Big celebration here, not sure whether more joy or shock, but it brought Rich Brown to the crease. He was able to get it away for 4, and OH did manage to come away with a losing draw, rather despite what it says at the bottom of the screen there, doing what Walton did to Old Ruts a week before and holding out. Lovely 35 from Godfrey and 43 from Park, but not a lot else from OH, lots of contributions across the board. 3 for Mark Bainbridge, 2 for Roberts, then 1 each for Nichols, Jake Bainbridge and Paul Bainbridge, as Walton moved second in the league after a very, very competitive game at Ashley Park. Now, the league continues next week as we just see our thanks to Weller's Auctions for their support for our live coverage. The league continues this weekend with a really big game for the first 11 as they travel to Leatherhead. We'll be back for more highlights then.